He is one of the best players in the metro area. Shotgun snap, screen pass near side is thrown into the ground and incomplete. Hansen was trying to get a snap throw over to Mason Tunley, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, it was doomed from the start. I think they were going RPO action, but then tried to get it out to Tunley. Falls harmlessly to the ground, 2nd down.
This game was a slugfest last year, a 10-7 Liberty North win, a defensive battle then. Expecting another defensive battle tonight. Twins receivers to the right side, movement before the snap, and it looked as if the nose guard Darius Pomami, the UNLV commit, got a head start. That's going to give 5 yards to the Hawklets out to the 25-yard line. Remember, the opening kickoff was a touchback. And here comes 2nd and 5 for Rockhurst. Aiden Ryan to the left of Ethan Hansen in the shotgun. Hansen, the senior quarterback, has been starting since he was a sophomore. Snap back, option look left side, the flip to Ryan. Dodges one tackler, cuts back near the numbers, falls forward near the 29. It'll set up 3rd and short on the opening possession for Rockhurst.
I mean, this is, what they would call the early possession jitters, right? It seems like Rockhurst wants to set the tone early. Liberty North's defense, again, they took on Lee Summit North in week 1, where, again, you're facing arguably the best team in the state. A lot would say yes. This is where they kind of dig their heels in. Can they get off the field on 3rd and 1?
Ethan Hansen goes under center on this 3rd and short play. He turns, gives to his fullback, straight up the middle. Second effort, has the first down to the 31. Tommy Coppinger, his 4th carry of the year. He's a load at 6'4", 220, and he moves the chains.
And they like the fullback. They will go to the fullback as often as they can. Coppinger is that guy. He plays both sides of the football. And so, again, they're able to push enough, get the first down, set up a fresh set of downs.
Hansen, shotgun snap design, quarterback draw. He is dropped a yard deep in the backfield. That time, the linebacker met him at the point of contact. And it'll be a loss of a yard.
I tell you what, they're going to give us a challenge here tonight, Tim, with the jersey numbers. It says 20. I know that's not 20, but defensive tackle able to come in along with Melvin Lasser. I mean, we're going to be saying his name a lot tonight, causing a loss right there. 2nd
and 11, Hansen works out of the gun. Play fake. He's going to roll right, getting chased. In trouble back at the 15. He's going to fire one for the sideline. Diving attempt is incomplete. Miles Carson trying to come back to the football, and it's going to be 3rd and long. This Liberty North defense, they pin their ears back and they come after the quarterback. Led, of course, by the UNLV man, Darius Pomami. It helps when you've got a 4-star edge rusher, Jay Sean Ross, right on your hip pocket, also coming after the quarterback. Last week, Ross, 2 more sacks. He's got 4 through the first 2 games. I mean, that's pretty solid. A 3rd down and long here. This is where Rockhurst cannot get tonight. They struggle on occasion getting to the sticks here. Shotgun, Hansen looking left, stepping up in the pocket. He's got time running out of it. He's going to flare one for the sideline, intercepted. Trey Snyder has got the pick, and Liberty North is in business as he's out of bounds at the Rockhurst 49-yard line. It just did not look like anything Ethan Hansen wanted. He had the out route to Miles Carson early. Instead, he held his eyes there. He held his eyes there for too long, and then Trey Snyder able to make a great play on a ball that was a touch overthrown. And here comes Liberty North with the momentum on the Rockhurst side of the football field. The Tennessee baseball commit from his free safety spot comes up with his first interception of the year. That's got to feel good for Trey Snyder, who sat the Lee Summit North game. And now Liberty North on offense. First give of the night is to Mike and Joe Barnett behind right guard for a gain of about 3 to the 46. Yeah, we're going to see a couple of running backs here tonight out of Liberty North. Mike and Joe Barnett, the senior, and Ja'Cory Love, who apparently tonight is going to play starting corner as well. He's the type of guy that can get in there and get some carries as well. So both of these guys are going to be getting carries. I love how Liberty North spreads out the formations. A lot of running lanes in there. Tillman Martin in the pistol set on a 2nd and 7 play. He's going to give to Barnett straight up the middle. That is plugged up immediately. Tommy Coppinger First man to it for Rockhurst, and here comes the first third down of the opening quarter for Liberty North.
Yeah, Coppinger is, he's just that guy. Him and Jeb Ketting are the leaders of this defense, and very clearly they are the guys that make the most tackles. In this instance, he's able to plug up the hole. That offensive line out of Liberty North is going to have to set the tone and get to that second level. Otherwise, running room is going to be very, very scarce tonight.
9:09 to go in the opening quarter. 3rd and 5. Snap back to Martin. Has a lot of time. Now he's going to scramble, look to run, hold on, and now he is going to take off. Trying to dodge one. He is going to get dropped in the open field by Jeb Ketting. A gain of maybe a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
And there is the other guy, the part of the two-headed monster I was just talking about. Jeb Ketting is the guy that, again, whenever there's a spy that they need to attack a quarterback in one way or the other, he's that guy. He sat there in the early pass coverage, and then he was like, well, it's one-on-one. It looks like he's going to take off, and he went and made a play to bring up this 4th down.
Obviously not a designed run, but really good coverage on the back end. Forced Tillman Martin to just try to make something happen there. Punt unit out there for Liberty North. Theo Gibson to do the punting duties. Low snap, but he gets rid of a high, short kick. Fair catch called for and made on one knee by Tunley at his own 14-yard line. So Ethan Hansen throws a pick on his opening drive, but nothing comes of it for Liberty North, and the Hawklets back with possession. 8:14 to go opening quarter, their second drive of the game. You surprised that Aiden Ryan only touched it one time on the last drive?
Oh, yeah. Aiden Ryan he's the guy. He's the bell cow. And at the end of the day, again, he got 14 carries last week in a blowout win at Blue Springs South. I expect him to get anywhere between 18, 22 carries tonight. He's that type of guy that leads his team in offense. Ethan Hansen, he will run the ball as well out of the quarterback position, but they go as Aiden Ryan goes. And so, yes, I think he's going to get a couple touches here in this first series.
Out of the shotgun, Hansen is going to flip it to Tunley on a jet sweep, cutting back near the middle of the field, and he is popped after a gain of about 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Yeah, you mentioned that Aiden Ryan had just 14 carries, but he made good use of them. 160 yards, 4 touchdowns. Blue Springs South is still having nightmares about number 7.
Oh, yeah. I'm worried about them tonight as they play. What are they thinking? Is Aiden Ryan still back there? I promise he's not. They've moved on to a different team, but Ryan was all over the place last week over at South.
2nd and 8. 3 receivers bunched to the left side for Hansen. Out of the gun, he is going to give to Aiden Ryan. Running left side, he is hammered a yard deep in the backfield. A loss of 1 makes it 3rd and 9. Melvin Laster, first one to him.
He is. I watched him all day today on tape. He's the most electric defensive player I have seen in the Kansas City area in a long time. I've been here 5 years. It's not a long time, but he is the type of guy that he just puts his head down and he will hit anything that goes through it. And that time, out of the middle linebacker position, made a perfect play, drops him for a minimal gain, and again, 3rd down and 7 could be huge.
Melvin Laster, the 2-time reigning Missouri Class 6 Defensive Player of the Year. 3rd and 7, Hansen, shotgun snap. He is going to fire one left side for the sideline. Diving catch made by Tunley. That is going to move the chains to the 31.
That might be the best throw I've seen Ethan Hansen make in person this year. The reason why, he threw that ball before he was out of the break. The comeback route is one of the most undefendable throws that you can make in high school football. Right there, he threw it before the break came out, got to the first down chains, turned around, made the catch, and they move it to the first down of the game.
They move the chains, 6:36 to go in the opening quarter. Scoreless first quarter so far from Rockhurst. Snap back to Hansen, has all day to throw. Lobs one deep down the middle of the field. That is incomplete. A lot of contacts with Miles Carson in the vicinity, but no flag, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I like the shot early. This is one of those weird situations where this Rockhurst field goes east and west, and that sun is setting right where Miles Carson's eyes were trying to be for that football. Again, it was a little out of range, but that's a testy throw right now at this juncture of the game. Again, I don't mind the early shot, but brings up 2nd and 10.
Miles Carson, he's their home run hitter, has a Western Illinois and an Eastern Michigan offer. They go quickly out of the I formation, give to Ryan behind left guard. Scoots inside one tackler, and he only fights out to the 34-yard line. Going to make a 3rd and 6 play.
Jordan Ivey's there to make the play. He's the junior, the guy that maybe doesn't get as much play as far as talking about him in a broadcast. so far so good. He's only got 4 tackles on the year, make that his 5th. And again, an underutilized part of that defensive line makes a good play there.
3rd and 6 play. Hansen out of the gun, 3 right, 1 left off the near hash. Hansen shotgun snap, lobs one. That is tipped up and incomplete. Somebody got a piece of it at the line. It's going to be 4th down, and Rockhurst will send on the punt unit.
I mean, it's not often you see the duck come out. That was Ja'Shawn Ross that came from that left end position, able to get a tip on it, and it was, again, an ugly ball, clearly, because he got it swatted in the backfield, and now Rockhurst will punt it away.
Ja'Shawn Ross, he is a game wrecker. The 4-star recruit has 25-plus offers. Nebraska is one of the names most strongly linked to Ross. High snap, and a line drive punt is going to hit at the 40, take a Rockhurst hop across the 30, roll all the way down near the 23, and get down right there. And here comes the Liberty North attack for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. 5:37 to go, no score on ESPN Kansas City and A10varsity.com. Tim Spurl, Jonathan Pulaski, happy to have you along. And just like we thought this was going to start, a lot of defense, not a lot of offense.
Yeah, you mentioned in the pregame the defensive side of the football is going to be huge tonight. It's how can you play between the 25 and the 25? And what I mean by that is, can the defense get you off the field in punt range, right? That's essentially what they're living for tonight. These defensive head coaches, they love it. Now, again, Liberty North is going to spread it out a bit more. I think that they have a better chance of actually get things going or in bigger spurts. But then the more consistent attack on offense is Rockhurst, where you run it, you pound it, you keep time of possession in your favor. It's so far, it looks like 2 top 5 teams in the city.
Liberty North, they're breaking in a new quarterback this year. Remember, Van Dyne graduated a season ago, the multi-year starter at Liberty North, and in steps Tillman Martin, the 6'4 junior, got his first varsity start against the best team in Missouri, Lee Summit North, in the opener. Looks good, didn't put up crazy numbers, but last week against Liberty, he put up really good numbers. 14 of 20, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. 8 catches for 135 for Keelan Smith. They're going to fire a screen his way, trying to shake one across the 30. He gets drug out of bounds with a face mask to the 33. That's going to tack on penalty yardage to the 10-yard gain.
I mean, he's their guy on the outside. Keelan Smith is just an unbelievable receiver. 2 touchdowns last week against Liberty, and they should go to him more often. It just seems like he's unstoppable, at least in this juncture of the season, until people figure out how to guard him a little bit better. And they're going to tack on some more penalty yardage.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but they are not going to figure out how to guard this kid. The future Nebraska Cornhusker is one of the premier receivers in the area. He is absolutely dominant. He's ran circles around every team, every major team in the state of Missouri in his Liberty North career. And he's got his first catch, and the penalty has got Liberty North at the 38-yard line. They're going to give to Barnett straight up the middle. He is hit by Coppinger. Goes nowhere. Maybe falls forward to the 39 for a minimal gain.
Both of these teams early, they're saying, we're going to hit you, and we're going to hit you hard. It seems like so far we haven't seen kind of one of those like delicate, get tossed to the ground. This is hard-hitting football. You can tell that these guys love to play defense, and brings up a 2nd down and long for Liberty North.
And both these teams have a lot of size on the defensive side of the ball. 2nd and 9. Martin out of the pistol. Snap back, looking right. He's going to roll this way to the right side. Pressure in his face now. He is going to get dropped back at the 35. Nowhere to go with the football. Jeb Ketting comes up with the sack.
These linebackers are just too good. I mean, it's Lasser on one side of the ball. It's Coppinger and Ketting on the other side. They just have a knack to find that quarterback whenever he rolls out. The coverage was a coverage sack. The 5 defenders back there did a good job, and then Ketting comes away with the statistic of a sack.
Yeah, 2nd time now we've seen Tillman Martin just have nowhere to go with the football, and he's been forced to eat it. 3rd and 12 from the 36-yard line. 4:10 to go first quarter in a scoreless game. Ja'Cory Love in the ball game now. Martin Snap back, has time. He is going to fire one left side. High catch made by Smith. He's got a first down as he's dropped at the 49-yard line. They needed 12, and Smith comes up with 13.
I mean, that's a confident throw out of Tillman Martin. He knows his guys, right? I mean, he has 3 very talented receivers. Obviously, Keelan Smith is that guy, finds the soft spot in the zone, and then move the chains.
He can go up and get it at 6'3", 210. 11 catches through the first 2 weeks of the year, and again exploded for that 8-catch, 135-yard, 2-touchdown performance last week against Liberty. New set of downs. They're going to give to Love. Running left side. He bounces it outside. Cuts it back in at the 40. Far side 35. He's tripped up from behind, but he's going to move the chains in the process.
I mean, Vince Jacoby saved a touchdown. It was the shoestringiest of shoestring tackles there. Again, Love shows that burst of speed that we know off that left side. Moves the chains, and now they're starting to threaten inside the 35-yard line of Rockhurst.
They mark Ja'Cory Love down to the 33 of the Hawklets. 3:30 to go in the opening quarter. Ja'Cory Love, the burner. The center transfer remains in the backfield out of the pistol. Martin is going to turn, give to Love on a stretch play. Cuts it back near the numbers, and he is sandwiched after a gain of a yard.
I mean, it's interesting is that as this night goes on, Tim, these spread formations out of Liberty North, you've seen them multiple times this year. It's where can these Rockhurst defenders fill the gaps when they get tired, right? Again, it's not as hot as it was week 1, but these guys are playing really good football out there. And so can they fill the gaps later on in this game? Again, they have 3 receivers to this bottom side.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun snap, play fake over the middle. He's got his man inside the 20, cutting near the 15. Jay-Sean Ross is into the end zone. And Liberty North is on the board first.
It's just a clean seam play out of the tight end. It's the first time we've seen Liberty North go to that seam route. It's the same kind of play action that you felt earlier out of the stretch play, and they just slip him down the seam. Perfect throw on the money inside, and then able to make a guy miss and find pay dirt.
Jay-Sean Ross, his first touchdown catch of the year. And he is a matchup nightmare at 6'5", 240. Don't see a lot of receivers running around that big. But Ross was lost behind that secondary. Extra point punched up and through. Liberty North, a 7-0 lead on ESPN Kansas City.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Jay-Sean Ross into the end zone. A 33-yard touchdown strike from Tillman Martin. That is his 4th of the year, as he's just gone over 500 yards passing in the 3rd game of the season. And Liberty North with a statement early, Jonathan, and now that puts Rockhurst on their heels a little bit.
I mean, Rockhurst so far this year, you hate to say it, they have now given up more than their average that they've given up so far. They've given up 5 per game after pitching a shutout week 1. So it's 7-0. How can you respond here at home? This is a team that over the course of the last couple years has kind of shut it down. Can they bounce back here?
Here comes Tunley across the 10, cutting near the 15, angling for the near sideline with a stiff arm. He's across the 18 and drug down near the 19-yard line. Great coverage by Liberty North, and here comes Rockhurst for the 3rd time in this first quarter. Not a lot to show for those first 2 drives of this opening quarter, but again, that is a testament to this Liberty North defense.
Yeah, I wonder if you're Coach Donahoe and this staff, where do you go? Where can you find a weakness in this Liberty North defense? There's not a lot of them, and certainly you can't really find one on the fly, but there's a couple of guys you can go to. You haven't gone to a tight end yet. You haven't gone to Coppinger more. We'll see. We'll see if they stick with the run.
1st and 10 from the 19. They're going to give, no, it's going to be an option play, and Melvin Laster is the first one to Ethan Hansen as he tosses him back at the 16. A loss of a pair.
Yeah, he's again, we've talked about him. He's been so solid throughout the first 2 games, now this 3rd game. That quarterback read becomes significantly more of an issue whenever the guy can cover both the running back and the quarterback. You're assuming this guy can't read it as the linebacker. He's just going to take both of you because he's that good.
2nd and 12, inside 2 minutes we go in this first quarter. Liberty North a 7-0 lead. Hanson's got 2 receivers to the left out of the shotgun. He's going to play fake, roll right, look back to the left, fire for Aiden Ryan. That is caught in double coverage as he's tattooed at the 29-yard line. That was an incredible catch by the tailback Ryan.
I mean, I hate to say it, but Easton Goss just got gossed. Over the back catch is how I saw that from up here, Tim. Maybe you can tell me otherwise. It was one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in person. Along the seam, able to go over the top of Easton Goss, make the catch between the 2 and 9 on his back, and they move the chains. I hate to say it because it was a great catch. Man, he had a wide open receiver across the middle. But nonetheless, they move the chains.
Whistles and a timeout for the Hawklets as that play clock was getting low. But, yeah, they're going to go back and look at that play on film, and they're going to sing Aiden Ryan's praises.
Yeah.
Incredible catch, great concentration. But then they're going to go to Ethan Hanson and say, don't throw that pass. What do you
Yeah. I mean, he is covered, and then he had safety help over the top, too.
Yeah,
That's
he
not a
squeezed
good
that
throw.
ball into, I don't want to say there was a window. Aiden Ryan created that catch. He almost caught that ball off a defender's helmet, essentially. But it was a great effort. And by the way, it moves the chains. A gain of exactly 12 yards moves it to the 29-yard line. And Toledano forced to take his first time out of this opening quarter, 1:20 to go in the first quarter. But you get an idea just based off that play alone how tough it's probably going to be all night to move the ball on this defense.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about where can you go. Maybe we don't think about the weakness of Liberty North's defense if there is one, but go to your strength. What is your strength? Andrew Sprague on the left side. Get Coppinger over there. Vince White is their tight end listed as well. Go behind the left side and run the football. And right as we speak, we see Tommy Coppinger over there on the left side with Andrew Sprague.
Aiden Ryan to the right of Ethan Hanson out of the shotgun. Off the near hash, they're going to play fake. Hanson rolling right now. He's going to dump it off for his tight end Forbes. Across the 40-yard line, he's roped down from behind. Up to the 44, move the chains again, a gain of 14.
At least what it seems like right now is Donahoe is wanting to stretch on the opposite hash, right? You like the wide side of the field. That time they slipped the tight end. That's Mitch Forbes out of that tight end position. Get him on a little bootleg, and Ethan Hanson delivers for a good first down.
That was a good play by Ethan Hanson. He had a guy in his lap. He had to get rid of that ball quickly after the play fake. But he was able to get rid of it, and Forbes had room to run. New set of downs from the 44-yard line out of the gun. They're going to give to Ryan straight up the middle. Through a hole, he slides out to the 48-yard line, gaining about 4 yards on first down.
I think the biggest win that they could have before, we're going to get one more play here at the end of the first quarter. Can Rockhurst get into Liberty North territory? That's going to be your win going into quarter number 2. And Andrew Sprague in this offensive line, Jack Manning, Charlie Gormson, Trey Gano, and Luke Llewellyn all of a sudden look like they have a little pep in their step.
Inside 15 seconds to go in the opening quarter. You said it, probably the last play of this first quarter. Out of the gun, Hanson, high snap, gives to Ryan. Straight up the middle, spun around to the backfield by Jay Sean Ross, and he falls forward to midfield, and that is how the first quarter will end. A 3rd and 4 coming up on the other side of this break. 7-0 Liberty North on the ESPN Kansas City High School Football Game of the Week.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
best drive so far. They've had it 3 times in 1 quarter, but they are out to midfield and easily the most efficient they have looked moving the football.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, I don't know how to get the message through unless you've seen Rockhurst play. And if you join us online, you can do that. If you're listening in your car, I want to try and tell you, it's like trying to watch a 14-year-old mow the lawn. And I mean that with the utmost respect, and I got Tim to laugh on it. But you watch a 14-year-old rev up the engine, right? And you rev up the engine. It might take a little while to get going.
Okay.
But then once the mower gets going, it's going to efficiently cut the grass.
You saved it.
That's where I went with it. It just takes a second.
Okay.
I told you I
All
worked
right.
with Sean Brewer in week 1. I have to wear that out a little bit.
3rd and 4 from midfield to open up quarter 2. Hansen sends his tight end in motion. Shotgun snap, quarterback draw. Hansen cutting past 1. He's got a first down as he stretches out to the 45 of Liberty North, and he was a shoelace away from maybe taking it 50 yards.
Yeah, I mean, Cole Young saved that one out of the secondary. He was, again, about 6 inches away from sprinting another 40 yards and getting Rockhurst on the board. The good news is they are now into Liberty North territory. They've tasted what that feels like. Now, can they continue this drive? How far can they get into the second quarter? We will find out.
Hansen is a threat to run the football. He had 40 rush yards last week. He's got 150 rush yards through the first 2 games of the year. New set downs from the 45. He turns, gives to Ryan behind right guard. He is submarined after a gain of 1 to the 44.
Yeah, again, it's Cole Young out of the secondary. You think, you watch these guys, again, offensive line, defensive line coaches during the week. What do? They try and figure out a way, like whenever you see Melvin Laster at middle linebacker, how can you get a guy like that blocked efficiently? Because at middle linebacker, he's 4 or 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. They've done a decent job on it so far. Charlie Gormson getting up to the second level. But then Cole Young out of the secondary has stepped up in that absence, essentially, and making some good plays, 2 in a row.
They spotted the ball wrong, and now a stoppage for it. Yeah, official in the middle of the field was confused, and now they fixed the spots. So it is a 2nd and 9. For a second, it was 2nd and 10. 2 to the right side out of the shotgun. Ethan Hansen, snap back, play fake, rolling right, in trouble. He is going to get tossed down by Huston. First one there, nobody touched him. A huge sack on the play is going to make it 3rd and long.
Yeah, this is one where you look at it and you're like, who is wearing number 94? We were told by the athletic director pregame that Ryan Houston, say the last name for me, Tim? Huston, thank you. Was going to be wearing 94 instead of 34 tonight, and he gets there on Ethan Hansen, had a chance to throw it away. In the end, he took the sack, and now they're back on their own side of the field looking at a large 3rd down.
Huston came untouched off the edge, and it helps when Jay-Sean Ross is getting double teamed on that same edge to free up. 3rd and 20. Whistles and a flag before the snap as the play clock had ran down. So that'll make it 3rd and 25.
I mean, what I can say so far about through 2 games for Rockhurst is that they've been pretty disciplined. That's just it's a bad penalty there. Delay of game, always unforced error, and so it makes it a 3rd and 25 situation.
You got to get all the way down to the Liberty North 35 off your own 40. Hansen, shotgun snap, stepping up in the pocket, getting chased from the backside. He throws it away into the Liberty North bench. Jay-Sean Ross was in the hip pocket of Ethan Hansen, and the punt unit gets called on for Rockhurst again.
I mean, it's terrifying. Jay-Sean Ross and Melvin Laster coming at you at the same time in that backfield. There's not a lot Ethan Hansen can do. I'm shocked they decided to go to the air there and not some sort of screen or draw. Nonetheless, it'll be a punt situation for Rockhurst.
Punt unit out there. And back goes Cole Young for Liberty North. 9:59 to go in this second quarter. Liberty North already with a 7-0 lead. Vince Jacoby to do the punting duties, but whistles stop him before he can snap it, as another delay of game against Rockhurst is now going to move them back to their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, this will be a talking point at halftime. Coach Kelly Donahoe is not going to be happy with the performance on this drive. Again, you give up something of a sack, that's fine. You can maybe fix that, but it's the unforced errors of delay a game, scooting back 10 more.
They come after this punt, nearly got there. This punt is a spiraling kick. It's going to hit at the 30, bounce across the 25, roll all the way down near the 21. Those cheers were because a flag came out near the punter. Liberty North did hit the punter, but the question is whether or not it's running or roughing. Believe the indication is just running into the punter.
Yeah.
And I don't need to explain to you that is not the automatic first down. But roughing would result in the first down.
Based on the explanation, I'm going to guess it's the 5-yard variety.
Because now the discussion is whether you take the spot or you take 5 yards and re-punt it. But it was a solid punt. All things considered, Liberty North would be starting near their own 21-yard line. So I think Donahoe is going to opt to take the punt spot. And that is going to be the decision by Kelly Donahoe, the former Blue Springs head coach. Wildly successful for the Wildcats, and then came over to Rockhurst after Tony Severino retired 3 seasons ago. And now in his 4th year, has gone 16-14 overall, went 5-5 last year, and we were here for their shocking first-round loss to Park Hill. Kendrick Bell, the current Michigan Wolverine, future teammate of Andrew Sprague, led a miracle last-minute drive to knock off Rockhurst in the first round of those playoffs last year. And now here's Liberty North to open up this drive from their own 21-yard line. Martin out of the pistol, looking right, rolling right, has time. Now he's going to tuck it, angle for the sideline. He's across the 25, cuts back near the 30, and he is hammered out of bounds after moving the chains, a gain of 11 out to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I don't see him as quite as a running threat in comparison to Ethan Hansen on the other side. But there, Jeb Ketting missed a rare miss on the outside there and able to pick up 10 yards with his feet, move the sticks, and see here. If you're Liberty North, you're up 7. See how this drive can go. Again, you want to take as much clock away from Rockhurst as you can. They're not necessarily a quick strike offense. So how much pressure can you put on them here going into the locker room with 9:30 to go?
Deuce of the downs from their own 31-yard line. Martin is going to hand off to Barnett straight up the middle. He spins forward across the 40-yard line, or the 35 rather, near the 36-yard line. Call that a gain of 5 on first down.
Again, consistent run game, A-gap, right behind center off the left side. And these linebackers, again, they average a lot of hits per game. How much sustained ability do they have at that second level?
2nd and 5 for Tillman Martin. Pistol snap, looking right, fires a slant. That is caught by Smith. He fights out to the 49-yard line, moves the chains again. Keelan Smith getting busy in this first half.
I mean, Mitch Forbes was about 3.5 inches away from getting his hand on that, and that just falls to the ground incomplete. Instead, Keelan Smith, another great play. They're getting close to another trip into Rockhurst territory.
They mark him down at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Martin gives to Barnett, behind right guard, pushing the pile forward. He bounces outside, hits the far sideline, and there goes Micah Joe Barnett. He is going to go all the way into the end zone from 52 away, but there is a flag down near midfield in the area of holding.
Oh, that was, I hate to tell you, that's a personal foul, Tim. On the backside of that, Elmote Williams was on top of Vince Jacoby, and they're going to call a personal foul. That, again, is going to cost Liberty North 6 points, assuming that they're going to take these points away.
Yeah.
It was not pretty. It was not necessary, and coach is going to be really upset at that.
So, yeah, a personal foul is going to negate what would have been a 52-yard touchdown run. And it would have been the first of the year for Barnett. who tore his ACL last year, but was able to rehab and return for the season opener this year for Liberty North. And so his first touchdown of the year will get called back, and a personal foul is going to now put Liberty North way back behind the chains at their own 34-yard line.
Again, it's a momentum killer. It's a lot of things. Again, you take 6 points off the board for something that shouldn't have even happened. It's a big mistake.
First and 24 from the 34-yard line. Martin, play fake, has all day. He is going to air one out deep down the middle for Smith. Over the shoulder grab, inside the 20, jacking him near the 15, and all the way down to the 11-yard line. The future Cornhusker is eaten in this first half.
Your old-fashioned post pattern. Hey, run 20 yards and go straight to the post. I'm going to hit you one-on-one against Ben Stringer. It's a tough matchup for the 5'10", 160-pound junior. Turns into a massive gain for the Eagles inside Rockhurst, the red zone.
Fourth catch of this first half for Keelan Smith as he's quickly approaching 100 yards. First and 10 from the Rockhurst 11. Martin out of the pistol, gives to Ja'Cory Love, bouncing it outside, trying to race everyone to the sideline. He is going to get chased down at the 10-yard line. He is a burner, but at time, Rockhurst did a great job of flowing with him and containing him.
Yeah, this is that opportunity for Rockhurst. Just under 8 minutes to play here in the first half. Can you stand up and get a stop here, hold them to a field goal? Again, Liberty North very good at special teams. Can you hold them to a field goal, get to the break only down 10, or the possession, try and get some points on the board before we go to break?
Second and 9, 7:35 to go in this first half. Martin out of the pistol, gives to Love, straight up the middle, dodges one, cuts back to the left. He is going to get a rope down near the 5-yard line, setting up a 3rd and about 4 play for Liberty North.
Yeah, this is, again, a big one. Ja'Cory Love is just, again, he is a burner, as you said. He's very fast, and these Rockhurst defenders are doing a decent job. I see Andrew Sprague out there. This is the heavy package for Rockhurst. Crowd coming alive for this 3rd down.
3rd and 4 from the Rockhurst 5-yard line. 2 receivers in the formation. Tight end Supas goes in motion over to the left side. Martin, pistol snap, gives to Love, running left side with a stiff arm. Ja'Cory Love stretches for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown Liberty North. A powerful run from Ja'Cory Love, and Liberty North has gone up 2 scores.
Yeah, I mean, the air immediately came out of this building as the packed visitor sideline of Liberty North erupts, and it's hard to hear over on this side where the press box is because it is deafening silent with Rockhurst. Again, Ja'Cory Love finding the pylon, getting through the arm tackle of Mitch Forbes, and it's a 2-score ball game.
5'10", 175-pound senior. Dragged a couple defenders into the end zone, extra point, tacked up and through. 14-0 Liberty North, making a statement early against the 4th-ranked team in Missouri Class 6 on ESPN Kansas City.
That carryout comes in clutch.
And KansasCityZooRun.org.
All Liberty North in this first half. 6:52 to go till halftime. The first rushing touchdown of the year for Ja'Cory Love, a 5-yarder, makes it 14-0 Liberty North. Rockhurst has had no answers offensively. They haven't been able to move the ball into Liberty North territory so far tonight. Meanwhile, Liberty North has scored touchdowns on their last 2 possessions, Jonathan.
I mean, just to be honest with you, Tim, right now they look like the better team. They look like the team that has more experience. Now, again, experience versus this is regular season stuff. Can Coach Kelly Donahoe, can he go into break? Again, we have just under 7 to go here. Can he make something out of this drive, go get a field goal, maybe even a touchdown, and then make something of it? How does he make the adjustment in this coaching staff that is highly touted?
High end-over-end kick Tunley's going to take it at the 7-yard line. Angle straight up the middle, bounce off a tackler, near side, dodges one at the hash, and he fights his way out to the 27-yard line. That's where the Hawklets will restart on offense. 6:45 to go till halftime. And again, last drive was their best drive so far of the first half. Got out to the 48, knocking on the door of the 50-yard line, and then they take a 10-yard sack, delay of game, and they're punting a play later.
Yeah, this is where, again, you have a 3-year starter in Ethan Hansen. You just got to use him as best you can. Can you get him to be the dangerous quarterback that he's been through 2 games? And that's going to be the key to this drive. 6:45 to go till half.
Hansen will start in the shotgun. He's going to give to Aiden Ryan, who gets roped down at the line of scrimmage. A couple of defenders in the area. Jordan Ivey finishes the job, the 5'11", 300-pound junior defensive end.
Yeah, it's, again, so quickly. It's as the ball is getting handed off. Ja'Shawn Ross is there. Now, he didn't finish off the tackle. That was Jordan Ivey. But he was there, and at the point of, essentially handing the ball off, he's already there, which makes the quarterback read an issue, which makes just a straight draw an issue. It could be a tough drive here with him coming off the edge.
They mark that a loss of 2. Make it 2nd and 12 from the 25-yard line. Snap back to Hansen. Play fake. In trouble. He is thrown down again. Ja'Shawn Ross is all over the place tonight.
It's, Tim, I hate to say it, man. There were 3 guys that could have gotten that sack. It was just Ja'Shawn Ross was the first one there. They are dominating in the front 7 right now. Liberty North looks the part here at Rockhurst.
Ja'Shawn Ross has already hit the 5-sack mark, and we're not even 2.5 games into the season. 3rd and 19 for Rockhurst, backed up to their own 18-yard line. Hansen has time, lobs one left side. He has his man over the shoulder, can't hang on. Incomplete. The catch was Jack Bickelmeyer as it falls to the turf. And if he's able to bring that in, he is in the end zone right now.
Oh, God. I mean, sitting next to the Rockhurst coaches it's a blessing and a curse. And that time was closer to curse because it was, right in the hands. As you can describe it, Ethan Hansen put it right on the money. 6 points here and gone, and now they have to punt it away with 5 minutes to go. All the momentum on that far sideline.
He was a good 3 or 4 yards behind the secondary, and that hits him in the hands, and he can't bring it in. A line drive punt is going to be fielded at midfield by Young, coming near side at the 45, and he's pushed out of bounds near the 42 of Rockhurst. And Liberty North has another short field, 5:04 to go to halftime already with a 14-0 lead, and they're trying to add to it. Here comes Tillman Martin and company.
At this point, can Liberty North do anything wrong? It seems so far throughout this game, and it's been all Liberty North. The penalty battle, the rushing battle, the turnover battle feels like they've kind of gotten away with it a little bit, even though there hasn't been a pure one other than that interception to start. So Liberty North, again, feels like this has been a perfect half so far. I'm sure Coach doesn't feel that way, but we'll see how they do here in this drive. 5 minutes to go.
5:04 till halftime. Already a 2-touchdown lead. Martin will line up out of the pistol this time. Snap back, he is going to hand off behind left guard to Micah Joe Barnett, who only picks up a yard out to the 41.
The one thing that I noticed as well about Liberty North, and we've seen this once tonight as well, they will punt from this area of the field. Now, if you're Rockhurst and can get 2 more solid stops, you will be able to get the ball back because they will punt from here. They don't just traditionally line up and go for it on 4th down. We'll see.
2nd and 9, 3 receivers to the right side. Snap back to Martin, running out of time. Screen pass for Smith. He's got blockers as he dances across one near the 35, spinning near the 30. He is going to get dropped down finally at the 26-yard line of Rockhurst as he surpasses 100 yards receiving on the night.
It's tough to guard. Clearly, the Nebraska commit is having a heck of a half. We haven't seen Theo Gibson yet even get kind of a remotely close look, and he had a great game against Liberty last week as well. So, again, there's one weapon, but then there's 3-4 weapons as well for Liberty North.
New set of downs from the Rockhurst 26 as we work inside 4 minutes to go till halftime. Martin snap back. He's going to give to Barnett behind right guard through a hole. He's got a first down as he stumbles across the 15 down near the 13.
I mean, his center of gravity at 5'8", 190 pounds is low. He's getting hit repetitively and staying on his feet. Again, moving the chains. This drive looking efficient as well. I mean, Liberty North off to a good start on this drive.
New set of downs for Liberty North from the Rockhurst 13-yard line. Gibson is going to line up wide to the left, Smith wide to the right side. Barnett stays the tailback in the pistol set behind his junior quarterback. Martin gives to Barnett on a stretch play, cutting back to the right side. He is dropped by a couple of blue jerseys at the 11. Vince White, first man to it for the Hawklets, trying to make a stand. They've given up back-to-back touchdown drives and in danger of giving up points on a third straight drive to Liberty North.
Yeah, it seems like every time I've said something about that, Tim, it just immediately takes it a different step. So I'm seeing if I don't say anything, will the result change?
2nd and 8. Pistol snap back. Bouncing it out left side is Barnett, but he's tackled around the ankles at the line of scrimmage, and he'll set up a 3rd and 8 play. And a pretty important play for Rockhurst defensively here. Even if Liberty North comes away with points, you'd feel a lot better about yourself if you just limit them to a field goal instead of a touchdown here.
Yeah, I mean, Vince Jacoby essentially saved a touchdown there. He was on his way out to the left side. Jacoby able to wrap up and make the tackle. It's 3rd and 6 from the 9-yard line. Can they get a stop here holding the 3 points?
From the 9, off the near hash. 2 receivers in the formation again. Keelan Smith is way wide to the right, and now Liberty North is going to take their first time out of the half. Andy Learman, in his 2nd season, wants to talk to his team. What a first year it was for Andy Learman, an undefeated regular season. Got his team to the semifinal round of the Missouri Class 6 playoffs before they ran into a buzzsaw by the name of CBC. But now they flipped the page into year 2 for Andy Learman. And even though there was a speed bump in week 1, somebody had to lose that Titanic matchup. And it seems like he's got his team rounding into form real quick.
Yeah, they look incredibly good. If Rockhurst, which is ranked number 4 in the 8-10 varsity top 25, for good reason, they've looked dominant so far this season. Liberty North has made a statement here in this first half. They have dominated from the point of attack with the rushing game, through the passing game with Keelan Smith. Their defense has looked good. Again, up 14-0, and it's 2 minutes to go, threatening again on this 3rd down. They've looked good.
Here comes that crowd on a 3rd and 6 play from the Rockhurst 9-yard line for Liberty North. Michael Joe Barnett remains the tailback. 2 wide of the formation. Martin out of the pistol. Snap back. Looking right. Fade route. Back corner of the end zone for Smith. Going up. Did he get the feet in? He did not. Incomplete. A tremendous catch regardless, but it's going to be 4th down.
I mean, again, we're so far away from that throw and catch. That was incredibly athletic. I thought he was inbounds from here, but clearly we're about 80 yards away from that far pylon. Nonetheless, tremendous athleticism. Hold them to 3. We'll see this kicking unit out there again.
So this will be a 26-yarder for Blue Renfro, who has converted both of his field goal tries this season. Well within his range, off the near hash. Low snap, hold, kick on the way, and Renfro missed it. He had plenty of leg, but he hooked it left inside the near goal post. And so Liberty North comes up empty near halftime, and it remains a 14-0 game. It may be a little bit of momentum back into the Hawklets corner.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Vince White clapping his hands as he got off the field. That is a win. In that situation, the best case scenario is a turnover or a missed field goal. And there it is. Can Rockhurst, with 1:51, 2 timeouts, have some sort of drive get put together because this offense needs some help right now.
But the question is going to be if you've got enough time. 1:51 to go before halftime. 2 timeouts remaining for the Hawklets. Now would be a great time to get your offense kick-started from the Liberty North 20-yard line. Shotgun snap, screen pass, far side. Picking up a block is Tunley, but a stiff arm. He fights out near the 29-yard line. Maybe a half-yard shy of the first down marker.
I mean, that's your guy, Tunley, and you also have your man Miles Carson. You got to get to him.
They will give him the first down. They stop the clock at 1:42. That's important. If it's a gain of 9, you keep that clock rolling, but he gets the first down by the nose of the football. It briefly stops the clock and introduces it down to Rockhurst, who's going to go out of the eye. Hansen sets a man in motion, and yeah, the receiver to the far side, Jack Bickelmeyer, got a head start.
I can see what Coach Donahoe wants to do, and unfortunately it resulted in the man he wanted to target taking off early.
I think I saw what you saw setting up there. If he doesn't false start, they may have a big play coming. Because they caught Liberty North in man coverage, and they were going to bring Bickelmeyer across the formation from left to right across the field. Remember, the last time he ran a deep route, he didn't call it in, but he was about 3 yards behind the secondary. He can move. Yeah,
and he's up there again, one-on-one.
1st and 15. Hansen, shotgun snap, running out of time, fires to the sideline, caught, and getting bumped out of bounds after a gain of 3 yards is Coppinger. Out to the 28-yard line, stops the clock at 1:09 to go till halftime. You still got time, you got timeouts, but you got to get a play here to at least pick up a large chunk of that 12 yards. You do not want to give the ball back to Liberty North.
Yeah, I mean, they have 2 timeouts again, so do you run the football? It's a very difficult decision right now. Down to 12 on the play clock, and it seems like they got a bit of confusion too.
Yeah, they're going to have to line up quickly. Play clock to 5. They get set in the shotgun. 3 right, 1 left. Hansen running out of time. Fires one for the sideline. Low catch made. Fighting his way out of bounds and getting shot at the sideline. Maybe a late hit, but no flag flies as that's going to move the chains to Bickelmeyer.
I have not seen Bickelmeyer a ton this season. He's going to come to the sideline for this first down play. That was huge. He seems to be the guy they want to target. He's listed at 6'5", 205. Very clearly, they like how Ethan Hansen throws him the football. So they're able to pick up on a huge 3rd down and 12, and they move the chains.
He had to grab that one around his waist and then fight off a couple of tacklers. And yeah, he took a shot once he got out of bounds. But they do move the chains to the 40-yard line. Hansen, play fake, running out of time, rolling right. He has got to fire this one into his bench. And I don't know what the recipe is to buy Ethan Hansen time. Even though you've got a 4-star left tackle, one of the best offensive line recruits in the nation, Andrew Sprague, it has not mattered tonight.
No, I mean, he has, you can watch it on film on 810varsity.com. It is so quick. The second he gets that snap, it is less than a second before there's somebody in his face. And honestly, that time, they blocked everybody except for the 2 guys on the outside. So the numbers game isn't working either for Rockhurst.
2nd and 10 from their own 40-yard line, 57 seconds before half. Hansen from the gun, screen pass through the hands and nearly intercepted. That one bounced off the hands of Tunley. And Athen Welcome nearly got there to pick it for Liberty North. It's going to be 3rd and 10 with 54 to go till half.
I mean, again, at this point, what is your goal? What is your agenda? You have 54 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Again, there's 3rd down. You give it right back to them. You don't need it. Last time on 3rd and 10, they went to the air. I assume that's where they're going to go again as Miles Carson comes to this far side one-on-one coverage and press.
3 left, 1 right. Got to have it if you're Rockhurst. Play fake. Hansen will roll left, step up, fire for the sideline. It will sail into the Liberty North bench. And the punt unit for Rockhurst will come on with 49 to go before halftime. And if you're looking for a bright spot of that drive, at least you moved it out to the 40-yard line and you bought your punter a little bit of field position, a chance to flip the field at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, Tim. They've been very close to blocking these punts. They punted 3 times, I believe, tonight, and 2 of the times they've been right in his face. So they're going to send the all-go here.
Jacoby gets rid of a end-over-end punt. It's going to hit near the 30. Young is going to back away from it at the last second as it scoots by him and rolls to a stop near the 13-yard line. And Liberty North will have just 35 seconds to work with before halftime.
I mean, it's going to be 2 different stories going to the break. Again, it's only 14 points. You say only, but it's against arguably the best team, if not the second best team, right? We found that out week 1, at least early. That, you know, you're down at home if you're Rockhurst, you're up on the road if you're Liberty North. Again, 2 very different messages going into the break. Coach Kelly Donahoe is going to have to put on every bit of that experience, along with his coaching staff, to dig out of the hole in the second half.
If you were curious, Liberty North gets the football first to start the third quarter as well. They will open up with 4 receivers in the formation. Martin will keep it on the ground straight ahead with Barnett, who is plugged up at the line of scrimmage. That works us inside 30. And we'll see if Liberty North snaps it one more time or if they're content to ride that into the locker room. It would appear they are. A 33-yard touchdown pass started the scoring from Tillman Martin to Jay Sean Ross. And then the following drive, Ja'Cory Love, a 5-yard touchdown run, made it 14-0, and that is where we stand at halftime. Liberty North dominating on both sides of the ball through one half. The third-ranked team in Missouri Class 6 flexing their muscles through the first 24 minutes. We're at halftime on ESPN Kansas City and on A10varsity.com. We throw it back to our ESPN Kansas City studios, where Chad Rader is dutifully standing by for all your scores from the Missouri and Kansas side of the state line. Stay with us on the ESPN Kansas City High School Football Game of the Week.
I'm Missouri.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For fresh. At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
That carryout comes in clutch.
East Summit, the Tigers have been showing Blue Springs how to play football. 17-0 early. Wildcats get on the board. It is now 17-7. Checking the scores and the live streams as we're talking. All those links to all the games, you can watch them all at A10varsity.com or Click on legit links. Don't get spammed. There's a lot of that going on the last few years. Social media, these are legit links. These are either school broadcasts, media broadcasts, or even, as you know, at the game you're listening to, 8-10 varsity broadcasts. Let's turn back to the 8-10 varsity scoreboard. Like we said, Lee Summit 17-7 over Blue Springs, staying with the Blue Springs district. Park Hill is taking the lead over Blue Springs South. 14-13, that game is at Park Hill District Athletic Complex. The Trojans have just taken the lead. Going on to down the road to Lee Summit. Lee Summit West looking to go 3-0 for the first time in quite a while, and they are looking to do so against fellow Park Hill district foe that we just talked about, Park Hill, a second ago. They're leading Park Hill South 17-5. Liberty North, as we know, 14-0 over Rockhurst. Staying with Liberty, going to the Liberty district. It is Liberty, the Blue Jays, looking for their first win of the year. It would be a nice one if they get it. Over Raymore Peculiar at Liberty, 14-7. Jays lead Ray Pett. Staying in the Northland, kind of a surprise here. Number one in the region, in fact, Missouri, Kansas City. Lee Summit North was up 7-0 on Staley. Falcons came back and tied it, but now it is the Broncos. We've taken the lead again, 14-7. Lee Summit North leads with just a couple minutes left here in the half, so it's a tight one in the northern part of Kansas City, 14-7, Lee Summit North over Staley. Fort Osage having no problem with Belton, 29-7. Can't look at records because Fort Osage is your traditional power. 0-2 for the season, Belton at 2-0, but right now it's Belton taking Belton by Fort Osage, 29-7. Talk about some scores. There's no score still in Northtown. 0-0, Platte County and North Kansas City still locked up right before half, scoreless so far. Teams have gotten the red zone, but just haven't scored. Grain Valley and Oak Park. We knew this would be a good one, and it is two top 10 teams, number 7 versus number 10. It's number 7 Northman leading number 10 Grain Valley 20-17. Both teams are undefeated coming into this game. As we hit refresh, if I have a minute here. Nope, we did hit refresh, and for good reason. Grain Valley has taken the lead, 24-20. The Eagles lead Oak Park. St. Joe Central and Raytown last in a struggle 7-6. Truman having their way with Southie 28-0. Staying in the Independence District, it is Van Horn leading William Chrisman 22-0. It's William Tonka handling Excelsior Springs. It's 7-all early on. Now it's William Tonka with a 2-score lead, 21-7 over the Tigers of Excelsior Springs. Grandview is taking a 14-0 lead over Raytown South. Smithville having their way with, well, I won't say the way, but are up on rival Kearney 14-0. Kearney on their fourth-string quarterback currently. Tough time to do it against your rival on Highway 92. Smithville 14, Kearney nothing. Oak Grove having no problem with center, 35-0. Pleasant Hill is taking the lead over Harrisonville, 14-7. Rounding out the Missouri scoreboard here before we go to the break. It's Odessa 14-0 at Mexico. Warrensburg 26-0 against Azalea Smith Cotton. St. Pius blanking, well, no, not blanking anymore. It's 21-8. Warriors lead the Dragons of Cameron 21-8. Chillicothe, Maryville, well, that's at 0-0. I have to check in on that score. Savannah 27-0 over Kirksville. Lafayette leading Benton 6-0 as we head north. Staying back here in the Kansas City area real fast. Lincoln Prep 7-0 over Pembroke Hill. A couple other scores around the area. Lafayette County 15-13 over Warsaw. East Buchanan, two-time defending state Class 1 champ. Now they won't be because they're in 2, but they're leading 16-0 over North Platte. Lathrop 8, Salisbury 6, and finally Mid-Buchanan 27, West Platte 19. So those are your scores from the Missouri side. We'll be back with the Kansas side here in just a moment right here on ESPN Kansas City 94.5 FM.
ESPN 1510 KCTE, Independence, Kansas City. Every weekday on Sports Radio 810, tune in to hear Kansas City's favorite local lineup. At 6 a.m., wake up with the Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bucati. At 10, it's The Zone with Jason Anderson. And at 2, tune into the program with Soren Petro. Kansas City's favorite shows are on your hometown radio station. Sports Radio 810, WHB.
Join Union Broadcasting in thanking local companies that care. Companies That Care is an effort to let you know about local companies giving back to our community. Union Broadcasting salutes Tacos for Life, Tacos for Life is making it their mission to help end world hunger. For every meal that you purchase at Tacos for Life, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to Feed My Starving Children to provide a meal for a child in need. If you're interested in donating further, go to tacos4life.com to learn more. Thank you, Tacos for Life, for being a company that cares.
The Crown difference truly is the people.
Crown Toyota and Crown Volkswagen, Best of Lawrence recognized as the #1 place to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. Visit crownautomotive.com to see the latest deals and to schedule expert maintenance, body shop, and repair services. Experience the Crown difference. Miles Schneer's Crown Automotive, 3400 South Iowa, Lawrence, Kansas. Supporting 2023 Pitt State football. Go Gorillas!
Back here on the halftime show here on the Sports Radio 810 University of Kansas Health System Game of the Week. Liberty North leading Rockhurst 14-0. Of course, this one is on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM. We're going to turn it over to the Kansas side on the scoreboard, 810varsity.com scoreboard, where you can get scores all night long, live as they happen. 810varsity.com. Bishop Mies leading Blue Valley Southwest 14-7. Both teams won their first game last week. Blue Valley Southwest notably snapped a 13-game over streak against Blue Valley with a big win last week on the Game of the Week here on ESPN Kansas City, 33-19. Tonight they're trailing Bishop Mies, but not by the usual large margin. It's 14-7, a tight one. Bishop Mies leads Blue Valley Southwest. Blue Valley leads St. James Academy 7-3. Speaking of tight ones in the EKL, Blue Valley West, Blue Valley North, tied up 7-7 at Blue Valley North. St. Thomas Aquinas, Blue Valley Northwest, top 10 matchup. St. Thomas Aquinas gave up 42 points last week against Blue Valley West. Surely they might have a little chink in their armor. Not tonight. 28-7. Aquinas is now taking it to the Huskies. Saints leading 28-7. That ground game, of course, is in full effect for the Saints. Going to the Sunflower League, Free State cruising at Olathe Northwest 16-0. Lawrence playing host to Olathe West, and it is tied up at 14-all. Lawrence and Olathe West, the Owls taking it to Lawrence, and they are tied 14-all. Olathe East trying to rebound from an opening week loss and looking like they will. 27-0. The Hawks lead Lancers of Shawnee Mission East. Meanwhile, staying with the Shawnee Mission District, Mill Valley popping Shawnee Mission West handily 42-0. Shawnee Mission North is now tied up with Olathe South 18-all. Going on to the United Kansas Conference. Piper 14, Baser 10. A good old-fashioned rivalry there, though those two schools separated just by a few minutes, a few miles. Taking a few miles down the road over to Topeka, DeSoto trails Washburn Rural 21-7. DeSoto playing a class up there as Washburn Rural is Class 6A. Topeka Seaman 19-0 over Kansas City Turner. Ottawa 13, Baldwin 0. Eudora having no problem with Bonner Springs, and for good reason. Eudora is in the top 3 in the Class 4A 810 varsity state rankings. 48-0 over Bonner Springs. Good one down in Lewisburg. Good rivals there in Frontier League. Paola and Lewisburg against Lewisburg, leading Paola 21-12. Tonganoxie into this game is a slight favorite over Spring Hill, as Tonganoxie is ranked in the top 10 in the state. But they're the ones trailing the game at Spring Hill. They trail 14-7. Other scores around the Kansas area of note, still not like any in the Kansas area. Atchison 49-0 over Sumner. So those are the Kansas scores. We'll do a quick refresh on the Missouri side and send you back out to the guys after the break. At least when I still leads Blue Springs 17-7. Looking for a few more here. Liberty now has punched one in 21-7 over Ray-Pec. Still scores in North Kansas City. And that pretty much is the updates from the scoreboard. So check them all out anytime, 810varsity.com. Go check out the games. Also watch them as well. In the meantime, you can get back and listen or watch Liberty North and Rockhurst right here on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM.
ESPN 1510, KCTE, Independence, Kansas City.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Rust-Oleum's Stops Rust 5-in-1 spray paint is the first ever adjustable spray paint can. Choose from 5 different spray settings, so you can get a professional finish on every project. A can is just $6.49 each after 11% rebate. Good through September 10th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for
they're only a
details.
3-point favorites tomorrow over Nebraska.
Hear exclusive Chiefs coverage every week
after
from
everyone
the
watched
best
them
in the
drop,
business.
50
Only
points
on
last
Sports
week?
Radio 810
Oh, surely
WHB.
Nebraska will
Trent
figure
Green,
it out.
Adam Schefter, Tim Grunhard, Adam Teicher, Matt Derrick, Adam Kaplan, Jeff Chadia, Nick Leckie, Gary Barnett, Bill Moss, Mark Bullricker, Stan Weber, Sam McDowell, Seth Kaiser, Blair Kirchhoff, Kevin Harlan, Field Yates, Jesse Newell, Cynthia Freeland, and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Crown
30
difference
seconds.
truly is the people.
Crown Toyota and Crown Volkswagen. That's
Okay,
the
we might do
recognized as
like
the number
a
one
minute
place to buy
commercial
a new or pre-owned
because we
vehicle.
still got
Visit
7 minutes. It was an extended
crownautomotive.com
halftime, but I'll make it really obvious if we go to
schedule
commercial.
expert maintenance, body
Gotcha, I'll
shop,
be
and
ready.
repair services. Experience the Crown difference. Miles Schneer's Crown
10.
Automotive, 3400 South Iowa, Lawrence,
love Brian
Kansas. Supporting 2023
5.
Pitt State football. Go Gorillas!
Welcome back to Rockhurst High School, 14-0. Liberty North after one half. It was a first half highlighted by the Liberty North defense. They turned Rockhurst over once. That was on their opening drive of the ball game, and they throttled Rockhurst. The Hawklets did not get beyond midfield in the first 24 minutes. I am Tim Squirrel. He is Jonathan Pulaski. The Liberty North offense had also strung together a couple of long scoring drives in that first half to take the 2-touchdown lead. But again, Jonathan, the pass rush has been relentless. The back end has been throttling. You cannot say a bad thing about this Liberty North defense after one half.
They look so good. It's week 3 of the football season. That's the thing that I'm having to remind myself. It's not late October. It's not early November. It is September the 8th, and Liberty North looks poised to pitch a shutout to the number 4 team in the city. Like, that to me is impressive. Now, Rockhurst has, again, a lot of talent, a lot of opportunity here in the second half, but Liberty North's defense has been incredible to watch in person. Again, to only give up 27 to a team like Lee Summit North a couple of weeks ago, it's very impressive to watch so far.
Yeah, it is a Liberty North defense that, again, gave up 27 in the opener, but only gave up 66 yards of total offense in their win last week against arch rival Liberty. They quickly ironed out the kinks after that week 1 loss. And yeah, we're not burying Rockhurst by any means. This is a 14-0 game. You've had the privilege of already seeing Rockhurst. You saw them in their week 1 victory over Ray-Pec, where they blanked the Panthers 31-0. Again, this is an offense that is senior laden. They've got a lot of experience, a lot of veterans, a lot of guys that have been here in these situations.
Yeah.
And again, they've got a superstar in tailback Aiden Ryan and a very good left tackle, the best offensive lineman wearing either jersey tonight in Andrew Sprague. So there is a pathway back, but where does it have to start for Rockhurst?
Yeah, I mean, I checked out our YouTube live feed during the break, and a couple of the comments said, "Free Aiden." And honestly, to me, I agree. You have to let the boy run, but the tough part about it is you have Melvin Lasser, and you have all these talented guys around him on the Liberty North defense. It's very difficult for Aiden Ryan tonight to get anything going. But if it's going to happen, you got to get him on the edges, allow guys to get him out in space. One-on-one is where he is best running the football. Maybe it's not between the tackles, but it's on the speed option. I've seen that multiple times this year out of Rockhurst. Something's got to change, and I think it has to go through the hands of Aiden Ryan.
Yeah, he has been throttled down so far in this first half. Don't have official stats for you tonight, but he is well under 25 rush yards in the first half. I don't recall more than a 5-yard rush in that first half for Aiden Ryan, but he hasn't touched it a lot either. To their point, shout out the YouTube commenters. They just have not been giving it to Aiden Ryan much. They've been trying to go to the play fake. They've been trying to work Ethan Hansen out of the pocket.
Yeah.
But again, it only holds so much water for a defense if you're not going to force them to respect the run. And right now, Liberty North does not respect the run just because Rockhurst hasn't gone to it enough.
It's all about volume, right? I mean, it's 238 rush yards per game for Rockhurst. And that, to me, again, I watched week 1 where there was zero adversity against Ray-Pec. You would have thought that Rockhurst won the state championship running away in week 1 because they just demolished Ray-Pec here at Rockhurst. But the thing is that now there's some adversity. They felt it in the past, and the running game tends to get hidden whenever there's adversity. Will Donahoe go back to it? I think he will because, again, this isn't his first opportunity at adversity. He's won state championships, and he would like to add one of those trophies to the Rockhurst trophy case here this year.
Now, we aren't saying that the run game is a cure-all. Remember, Liberty North has got the 2-time reigning Class 6 Defensive Player of the Year in middle linebacker Melvin Laster. And obviously, we've been saying Jay Sean Ross, another 4-star recruit's name, all night long. So, yeah, Liberty North has just been that good defensively. But, yeah, I'm with you. If you're Rockhurst, go back to what you're best at. And if Liberty North is better than you at the end of the day, that's fine. But at least die on your sword instead of being forced out of your game plan by Liberty North. I will mention one thing worth talking about. The big play receiver for Rockhurst, the guy that's got a Western Illinois and an Eastern Michigan offer, Miles Carson, they've targeted him only one time tonight.
I mean, he's the guy, you mentioned it, on the only target, he is their home run threat. And he has to be a factor here in the second half. Liberty North is hyped down there, and they're ready to go. Second half is coming very, very close.
Yeah, Rockhurst going to need to come out with some energy. Second half coming up in about 30 seconds. We step aside one more time on the ESPN Kansas City High School Football Game of the Week.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
Welcome back to Rockhurst High School. Happy to have you along on 94.5 FM, 1510 AM, and 810varsity.com. If you're sitting at home and asking yourself, hey, Tim, why aren't you on 810 tonight? Well, it's because the University of Kansas in action, hanging it on Illinois after one half, up 28-7 are the Jayhawks over the Fighting Illini, and KU is knocking on the door of 2-0. But the good news is KU plays on a Saturday next week, and we flip back over to Sports Radio 810. But either way, happy to have you along. I'm happy you found us on ESPN Kansas City. And I will say, Jonathan, we talked a lot about that Rockhurst offense, what they need to switch up. But maybe the key lies on the defensive side of the football for Rockhurst. They have forced 6 turnovers in the first 2 games. They have not forced a turnover tonight. Liberty North has done a great job of protecting the football. But maybe a big play from this defense can spark something for the Hawkins. Yeah,
I mean, we've talked a little bit about Jeb Ketting and Tommy Coppinger, the linebacker duo. They're very good, obviously great tacklers. But can they spark something? Can the secondary get that interception? I mean, really, like if you're Liberty North, they like to spread the football out. So know that they're going to go to Keelan Smith and try and attack that. I could see an interception being the play that turns this game back in Rockhurst's favor. But again, Liberty North has looked very, very clean through 24 minutes, and I don't see that really changing.
Another side of this coin for Liberty North is that offense is starting to motor. If they can keep the momentum back in their corner like they had it near the end of that first half, they could turn this game into a runaway real quick. Keelan Smith, I know we've talked about him a few times, but he is impressing tonight. Already over 100 yards receiving. His best catch didn't even count, but the future Cornhusker, he's been a problem tonight.
I mean, he is fit every bit of the part that, I mean, again, you watch online, 810varsity.com. There's so many things that you see online. that you just don't get in person. And so far, Keelan Smith is that guy where you understand why Nebraska wanted this guy. He is fast, he's also quick laterally, and he has great hands. You add those three things together, especially at a school that really needs to turn around their football program like Nebraska, and Keelan Smith's that type of guy.
And the guy opposite of him, Jay Sean Ross, is the man that has the touchdown catch tonight. That's his only catch of the night, by the way, for Ross. The 33-yard touchdown reception. An extended halftime, by the way, if you're wondering why it's been so long since we ended that second quarter. They had a ceremony at halftime, honored a couple of legacies here at Rockhurst High School in front of a packed house. But we are ready for some football. Liberty North will touch the football first in his third quarter. On a beautiful night for football in the state of Missouri, after we all lost 14 pounds in week 1, 2 weeks later, it is a comfortable 81 degrees in the Kansas City metro area. And yeah, it's starting to really feel like football weather. And this is the time where these teams in Missouri start to round into form.
Sure.
And through one half, Liberty North is sure looking the part of the third-ranked team in the state.
You know, it's, I don't know, something just made me think. What if Donahoe is that crazy and tries to kick an onside here? Something inside me, I don't think it'll happen, but I just want to toss it out there because I saw him come over to the sideline with a little bit of angst. I think this could be an outside chance here to open up the second half.
Well, as if being down 14-0 isn't reason for enough angst. Maybe you throw that on top of it.
I'll be completely wrong. This is going deep.
The run-up in the kick is a high pooch kick. Near side, that is going to be fielded at the 30 and dropped immediately at the 31 is the up man for Liberty North. So Donahoe tries to sneak one by Liberty North, but at the same time, the man back there for Liberty North, Ja'Cory Love, already has a kick return touchdown this year.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the in-between, right? You don't want to give him perfect field position, but you don't want to give Ja'Cory Love the opportunity to take another one to the house as he did last week against rival Liberty. So instead, it's the high pooch kick. We see this Rockhurst defense again. We talked about it just a minute ago. It's going to start here if things are going to turn around for the Hawklets.
Tillman Martin threw a touchdown in that first half. He's going to start with 4 wide in the formation, 3 to the right, and Jay Sean Ross bunched to the left side. Barnett behind him. A flag flies at the snap, and Carey goes behind right guard for about 3 yards, but this one might be coming back. Yeah, too many men on the field for Liberty North as they run off the extra tight end, Gabe Perry. And so it'll be 1st and 15 to start the drive.
Well, if there's a positive for Rockhurst there is that they won that play 11 on 12.
If you're curious why that wasn't blown dead, too many men in the huddle, it's because they never huddled.
Yeah, they don't do that.
The ref just let them shoot themselves in the foot there.
He had the flag ready the entire time.
So, wow, they have assessed a personal foul to Liberty North. And so instead of a 5-yard too many men, they have assessed a personal foul to make it 1st and 25. I'm not sure what the personal foul was.
I didn't see it, Tim.
But now back at the 16-yard line goes Liberty North. Martin out of the pistol. High snap is going to keep it on the ground with Ja'Cory Love with a stiff arm. Hits the near sideline and is roped down near the 20-yard line. Chasing him down, Micah Oder, the safety.
Yeah, it's, again, this defense works pretty well sideline to sideline. They're fairly quick. That time, Elmote Williams, the Kentucky offer out of the right guard, was on the pulling technique. Was not able to get out in front of Ja'Cory Love, and so instead it's a minimal gain to start off.
2nd and 21 from the Liberty North 20-yard line. 3 right, 1 left for Tillman Martin. Pistol snap gives to Love. Cutting left side, stiff arm. He bounces off one, and then he is roped down near the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long for Liberty North.
I mean, that's back-to-back big-time stops out of Vince Jacoby. He's kind of one of those underutilized guys on this defense. He's played a big one tonight. 6 foot, 90-pound senior outside linebacker right now, and he is keeping that contained on Ja'Cory Love. Brings up a 3rd down and very long, and this is exactly how you want to start the half if you're Rockhurst.
Big opportunity for the Hawklets to force a punt and get the ball right back. Martin pistol snap back, setting up a screen, far side. He's got his man who breaks one tackle, and then he has submarine back at the 20. Keelan Smith had nowhere to go, and Rockhurst is going to force a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the second half.
And could not have gotten, again, in a better situation if you're Rockhurst. That time, Liberty North took too long to get that screen set up. It seemed like those linemen took 1,001, 1,002, almost 1,003 before they were out in the flat trying to get a block. Again, the Hawklet defense making a good play, forcing a 4th down.
The phantom personal foul really helps out Rockhurst there. Remember, Liberty North was way behind the sticks. They had 1st and 25 after the personal foul. Punt unit out there for Liberty North. A high end-over-end short punt is going to hit near midfield, take a Liberty North bop. Picked up on a hop and fighting out near midfield, dropped near the 49 is Micah Oder. And now here comes the Rockhurst offense, best starting field position of the night. Their own 49-yard line. And remember, we were talking about it at halftime. Rockhurst has not crossed the 50-yard line tonight.
Yeah.
But here you're right at the doorstep.
I mean, it's obviously the best opportunity they've had. I would imagine that they break that threshold. But again, the way that they've had some kind of stabbing themselves in the foot, it's been an issue. The delay of games at the end of the half set them back. See if they can get into the Eagle territory.
Let's see how they negate this fierce pass rush from Liberty North. Pistol snap. They're going to give to Aiden Ryan, who is annihilated.
Boom.
5 yards deep in the backfield. There's that man, Melvin Laster, with the hit.
I mean, dude, you hate to say it. Again, it's like there's an invisible wall that is built at that 50-yard line for Rockhurst right now. And Melvin Laster came in like a wrecking ball into the backfield, 4-yard loss. Again, Rockhurst behind the chains has been an issue, bringing up 2nd and 14.
Won the Buck Buchanan last year, won it as a sophomore. He comes up with a loss of 4 on the tackle for loss. Hansen goes under center now on a 2nd and 14 play. Turns, play fake, running out of time, lofts one deep down the left side. Over the shoulder catch is broken up. Coming back down to earth was Mason Tunley, but he got it ripped out of his hands by the corner to the far side, and it'll be 3rd and 14.
I mean, textbook defensive effort over there on the far side. Just waited for the balls to get into the hand and then just chucked them away. I mean, ripped through the paws, got the ball onto the ground, causing a 3rd down and very long. Again, that's something I like out of Ethan Hansen, trying to go deep to Mason Tunley. Again, we haven't called Miles Carson. Now could be the time on a 3rd and long as he splits out to the bottom of the screen.
Easton Goss was the one that broke it up. Now 3rd and 14. They're going to keep it on the ground. Aiden Ryan threw a hole, but he only picks up 3 as he gets submarined at the 48. And again, Rockhurst has not crossed midfield. And more than likely going to send the punt team on here as a 4th and 11, staring them in the face.
I mean, I'm looking down there. They're keeping the offense on. It could be one of those things where they quick snap it and just pooch kick it, but we'll see.
Yeah, that is in the playbook. And now Hansen will back up a few extra feet and boot this one with the left foot. It is going to hit near the 25, check up for Liberty North, and get down near the 25-yard line. So Rockhurst starts at their own 49 and can't pick up positive yardage, and they give it right back to Liberty North.
I mean, I feel like that's a bit of a commentator's curse there. We said, well, they got to do it this drive, and then Melvin Laster had other ideas. It's shocking. I mean, in this Rockhurst kind of entire sideline, the fans, the rest of the guys on the team, it is shocking. They have been averaging 344 yards per game. They're not even to 10% of that tonight.
Yeah,
it's very, very hard.
They have sucked the air out of this place, the Liberty North defense has. Martin will start in the pistol. 2nd drive of this second half for him as he hands off straight up the middle churns his tailback, Micah Joe Barnett, for a gain of 6 out to the 30-yard line. 7:52 to go third quarter. 14-0 Liberty North.
This has been, again, you talked about it in pregame. The defense, can they handle and can they kind of set the tone for the game? Liberty North's defense has done it, period. I mean, it's been the entire story of the game. Rockhurst has to step up in a big way because, again, the clock ticking, 7.5 to go in the third quarter. How many possessions are you going to get back if you're down 2 scores if you're Rockhurst?
2nd and 4 play. They're going to give it to Barnett again behind right guard, pushing the pile forward out near the 32-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
I mean, it feels like Liberty North is averaging 3 yards a carry right now. It's right at that number. 3rd down and 3. The Rockhurst crowd may be coming alive a little bit, helping their Hawklet defense, who's given up 5 points a game so far this season, giving up 14 tonight. Big 3rd down here.
Rockhurst again relying on their defense to try to spark something. Barnett, the deep back for Liberty North. 2 receivers in the formation. Martin wants to go to the air, loading up, taking a shot down the sideline for Ross. No, it's Keelan Smith. He is going to take this one all the way into the end zone untouched. He was 5 yards behind the corner when he caught it. And 68 yards later, it is 20-0 Liberty North.
Oof. I mean, taking the air out, like we said, and Ben Stringer is wondering what happened. He's the guy that's been lined up against Keelan Smith all night tonight, and all of a sudden, he is 10 yards behind him. That is arguably the best player on the field, and he's gone. Another touchdown for Keelan Smith.
He's approaching 200 yards receiving. His 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Hold kick is no good. Caught a piece of the crossbar, and it remains a 20-0 lead. Keelan Smith back into the end zone, and Liberty North in control now, up 3 scores on ESPN Kansas City.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
$20-0 as we welcome you back to Rockhurst High School, the 3rd-ranked team in Missouri Class 6, hanging it on the Hawklets, up 20-0. Liberty North has just been fantastic on both sides of the ball tonight, Jonathan. They have moved it well offensively and defensively. We cannot talk enough about what they have done, and now Rockhurst is fully backed into a corner. 6:33 to go third quarter. And they have got to get something going now.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to just say, hey, Ethan, we're going to have to go to the air, and we're going to have to go to the air a lot, now's the time. I mean, down 20 on your home turf, 18 minutes and a half to go total. I mean, you're going to have to string together some stops. And essentially, I said in game 1 when it was the opposite of this, and Rockhurst just went for it against Ray-Peck. This is the exact opposite. Can you pull something together? And sorry to cut you off there, Tim, or at least not let you call that play. The kickoff was an attempted onside
kick. Yeah, I mean, it goes about 20 yards, but it wasn't a pooch kick. They popped that one up off the turf, and Liberty North trying to catch Rockhurst sleeping, but a good job by the up man to backpedal a few yards and field that on the fly. And so the Hawklets again set up with really good field position at their own 41-yard line. But they haven't been able to take advantage of the field position all night. 6:32 to go in this third quarter. 4 wide in the formation. Hansen, shotgun, is going to fire a screen left side for Tunley. Weaving in and out of defenders. He lost the football.
Oh, no.
Liberty North saying they have it near midfield. No official signal yet. And now it would appear that Rockhurst is going to hang on to that ball. Boy. After they separate the bodies, Rockhurst dodges a bullet as they recover the fumble at the 48-yard line. That is officially going to be a gain of 7.
Yeah, that was, I mean, again, almost near disaster. I think Coppinger came out with it, but again, they're trying to get to the outside to Mason Tunley, get it to your playmakers, and instead almost put it on the turf.
3 wide in the formation. Hansen from the gun gives to Aiden Ryan. Left side, angling for the sideline. He dives at contact, and he has got the first down. Lowered the shoulder to jump right through a defender to move the chains, a gain of 4.
Well, and Tim, now that they're past, I can say it, they're officially into Eagle territory for the first time tonight.
5:50 and rolling to go in this third quarter. That's great and all, but if you're Kelly Donahoe, you got to go get points, and you got to go do it quickly. In a 3-score hole. Seemingly a lot of time, but the way Liberty North has moved the ball tonight, you don't know how many possessions you've got left. Hansen will line up in the gun. Has time, lofts one deep down the sideline, coming back to the ball, hauling it in at the 20, backpedaling his way down to the 15-yard line. It's going to be Bickelmeyer setting up Rockhurst 1st and 10 from inside the red zone.
I mean, it seems like that was the play they wanted earlier. He had a touchdown that he dropped. That's the biggest play Rockhurst has had tonight, a little bit of momentum. And off we go. Bickelmeyer coming off to the sideline, but nonetheless a big pickup and their first opportunity down inside Liberty North's red zone.
It was underthrown, but the 6'5" Bickelmeyer able to come back to the football and box out like he was tearing down a rebound. And out from the Liberty North 15, Rockhurst is cooking something here. Hansen goes under center. Turns, gives to Ryan on the toss, angling near side. He's inside 1, he's inside the 10-yard line as he gets dropped near the 6-yard line. Good block on the edge. Is going to set up second and about a yard.
Yeah, I mean, that finally, it seems like there was a little bit of something there for Aiden Ryan. They just continue, I don't know, they want to go to him, clearly. That time, finally, a good pickup of 9 yards and threatening here with, 4:40 to go in the third. There's enough time.
I formation, one to the left, one to the right. 2nd and a yard. Hansen gives to Ryan behind left guard. Nice inside 1. Fights for the end zone in. Aiden Ryan, a punishing 6-yard touchdown run. And Rockhurst showing life in this third quarter.
I mean, hats off to Andrew Sprague, Jack Manning, Charlie Gormson, Trey Gano, Luke Llewellyn. That front 5 for Rockhurst set the tone on that drive and said, first off, we're not going to get shut out here at home. And second off, we're going to give Ethan Hansen enough time to throw the football, give a few running lanes to Aiden Ryan, and they were successful in doing so.
Snap, hold, kick, extra point up and through. 20-7, so Rockhurst thought we were leaving them for dead after that last Liberty North touchdown, but Aiden Ryan has other thoughts on ESPN Kansas City. To 7. Rockhurst was, like we were just talking about, backed into a corner down 20-0. And then the curious decision to onside kick by Liberty North. And a few plays later, Rockhurst drives 60 yards and cuts it right back to a 13-point game. With still a whole lot of time, 4:25 to go third quarter. And now the ensuing kick is another high short kick, angled for the sideline, taken by Love near the 15, dodges one near sideline, 25-30, spun around and out of bounds near the 35-yard line, and that is why you kick it away from number 3.
Yeah.
And he was basically in an in a phone booth and still made about 5 guys miss and climbed his way out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, the 5'10" frame, 175 pounds, again, lightning fast. It's just really tough. You have to kick it away from him. It was the high pooch kick. It just wasn't short enough, if that makes sense at all. But got back to the, obviously, very dangerous Ja'Cory Love. And, hey, if there's ever a time, if you're Coach Kelly Donahoe, kind of want to use your one time, like, hey, let's go force a turnover. This is your one time. You want it right now in the third quarter. You know, see if you can get you another score before we hit the 4s on the quarter up there on the scoreboard.
Mike and Joe Barnett, the tailback. Out of the pistol goes Tillman Martin. Pistol snap, gives to Barnett, straight up the middle. He fights forward for a gain of about 4 yards near the 39. Clock running near 4 minutes to go in this third quarter.
I mean, and this is something that maybe I just didn't see because of the blowout win in week 1, but seeing a lot more rotation on that defensive line tonight out of Rockhurst. Seeing guys like Trey Cano, who, again, plays both sides, is at that right defensive end. We've seen Andrew Sprague out there as well on the defensive side. So, again, they're throwing everything at Liberty North right now.
2nd and 6 for the Eagles. Play fake, Martin bootleg right, eyes downfield. He's got his tight end across the 45, dodges one, breaks a tackle midfield, far sideline, cutting back to the left at the 40, dragged down from behind at the 35 of Rockhurst. Move the chains, Liberty North on the play action fake. A big catch and run as Tillman Martin picks Joe Hall out of the crowd.
I mean, we haven't seen Joe Hall at all tonight, and all of a sudden he's there. It seems, and this is maybe a flaw of Rockhurst, but Tommy Coppinger wasn't able to track him down. At that point, a missed tackle, big gain, now to the 35 of Rockhurst.
Martin turns, gives to Barnett, breaking one tackle, far sideline, cuts inside a block at the 20, inside the 15, dragged down near the 11-yard line. Another big run on the ground for Micah Joe Barnett.
You get behind guys like Wyatt Richardson, who's 6'2", 250. Again, Elamote Williams, 6'3", 270. Brandon Gifford, the left tackle, 6'6", 285. You're going to lose him. And they lost him there at 5'8", 190. Now inside the red zone. This is a heck of an answer out of the touchdown drive from Rockhurst.
Yeah, Liberty North has gone down with little resistance on this drive. 1st and 10. No, it's 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Martin gives to Barnett, stretch play, cutting it back near the numbers, fighting inside the 5. He is going to get wrestled down near the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal.
We haven't seen something this year out of Rockhurst that resembles a goal line package on defense. Feels like if there's ever a time where you bring in the heavies, it's right now. Because it seems like you're giving up 5, 6, 7 yards per carry, and now inside the 5-yard line down to the 3, threatening again.
Too wide in the formation. Barnett remains the tailback behind the junior quarterback Martin. Pistol snap. Martin gives to Barnett, straight up the gut. Tillman Martin gives to Barnett, who is into the end zone to make it a 26-7 ball game.
I mean, there's what you call a semi-dagger, right? It's not over, clearly, but the Hawklets had the momentum. They go down, they score for the first time tonight, and all of a sudden, it's just immediately, it's a decent return out of Ja'Cory Love. It's a lot of dominant play out of Micah Joe Barnett. 6 more points for Liberty North, and it's getting more and more difficult if you're Rockhurst right now.
And now Liberty North wants to go for 2, 4 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Empty formation for Martin. Rolling right on the snap. Now he's going to tuck it and run, cut it back, and walk into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 28-7, Liberty North back into full control. 1:53 to go, third quarter, and the Eagles flexing their muscles on ESPN Kansas City.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
Liberty North goes 65 yards in 5 plays on that drive. Mike and Joe Barnett capped it off with the 3-yard touchdown run. And you thought for a second there that Rockhurst had seized back the momentum, cut it back to a 13-point game. Little resistance. And Liberty North, that offense looks real good right now.
Yeah, I mean, for what the defense did in the first half, it feels like the offense has kind of done here in the second half. The running game has taken over. Again, a long touchdown from Keelan Smith, who's just been an absolute stud tonight. This Liberty North, they're showing that they're very well versed on both sides of the football.
Kickoff taken by Tunley at the goal line, angling up the right hash near the 15, breaks a tackle, stutter step near the 18, and he's dragged down right there. So Rockhurst gets it right back with 1:45 to go, third quarter. But again, every time you touch it, if you're Rockhurst, it's going to have to result in points.
Yeah, it's going to be, you have to push a sled up the hill, right? You can have fun like they did on their last drive going down the hill. Well, now you got to go back up the hill in 6 inches worth of snow against a very tough defense. It's like I'd say good luck. But Ethan Hansen, he should have some confidence after the last drive. You have Bickelmeyer at the top of the screen.
One left, one right, out of the gun. He'll give to Ryan straight up the middle. Nothing doing in the middle of that Liberty North defense. Darius Pomami leading the charge in the middle, as was Jordan Ivey. 2nd and 10 as we tick towards a minute to go in this third quarter. Three to the right, one to the left for Hansen. Out of the gun. Waist high snap, running out of time. Lobs one down the sideline and out of bounds. As Jayshon Ross, after the play, getting tied up with the right tackle, Luke Llewellyn. Nothing comes of it, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
I mean, Ethan Hansen has had, it's not been his best night, right? Right there, it seemed like he had Mitch Forbes wide open. He got stuck on the wheel route, and he wanted Miles Carson. Instead, he didn't see down the seam. Mitch Forbes was wide open with an opportunity. Instead, it brings up 3rd and 10.
One to the right, that's Miles Carson. 3 to the left side for Hansen. Out of the gun, he can't handle the snap. He's got to cover it back at the 6-yard line, and things go from bad to worse for the Hawklets inside of a minute to go in this third quarter, and they're going to have to punt it back to Liberty North.
And we have seen a couple of times this year that there have been some issues between Charlie Gormson and Ethan Hansen. This is not the time they wanted to do so. Again, going into the fourth quarter, they will have to punt this away. Down 21. Shows how good Liberty North has been, but Rockhurst has also had some opportunities that have just fallen through their fingertips because of some mistakes.
Cole Young back deep, rushes on, gets rid of a high spiraling punt. Young is going to wave this one off as Rockhurst is going to down the short punt at their own 38-yard line. A short field for Liberty North. 15 seconds to go in this third quarter. A 28-7 advantage, and they can land the knockout blow on this drive.
I mean, Tim, I'm going to reverse it on you a little bit. I have seen this only for just a little while, right? Tell me, in comparison to where you saw Lee Summit North, is Liberty North better now? Obviously, a couple weeks later, if you saw those two teams again, who would you say is the better team right now?
Well, that's the thing is Lee Summit North has still got the best group of talent in the state.
Right.
We'll elaborate on it here in a second. 1st and 10, though, as Martin turns, gives to Barnett, who is going to get met at the line of scrimmage and is drugged down. We'll tackle that topic at the start of the fourth quarter. For now, we are at the end of 3. 28-7. Liberty North tacks on 2 more touchdowns in that third quarter. They are 12 minutes away from a 2-1 start to the season on ESPN. crisp on both sides of the ball. And obviously that week one was a little obscure. Not only was it week one, but you were coming off a week where the practice schedule was changed because of the heat.
Yeah.
You have a really late start to that game. That game didn't get rolling until about 8:45 p.m. a couple of weeks ago due to the heat. But Liberty North stuck in there and played really well in that game. It's just that the offense really sputtered out in the second half. Tonight, though, it seems like they're rounding into form. And Jeremy Crabtree really sung the praises of the junior quarterback Tillman Martin in that opener. He was the guy that made some impressive throws in that game. Even though they lost that game, his numbers weren't all that great. He showed some flashes of why he is the guy. And tonight, he's been tremendous. This offensive line has been really good.
Yeah.
It's a 1-2 punch in the backfield with Barnett and Jacory Love. This is a very good Rockhurst defense. I mean, don't let the scoreboard cast any doubt about that. This is a Rockhurst defense that is big, physical. They've put up great numbers through the first 2 weeks of the year. They'll be great the rest of the season. Yeah, boy, is Liberty North look strides better than they were just 2 weeks ago. One to the left, one to the right to start quarter 4. Martin out of the pistol. Play fake. Got time. Loading up. Taking a shot down the middle for Keelan Smith. Oh, a catch and double coverage, and he's in the end zone. A strike to the future Husker, and there is your knockout blow. Liberty North up 4 scores.
I feel bad for Ben Stringer, man. He has had the toughest assignment tonight. It's like you walk into calculus class and it's just a little too hard. Ben Stringer had the beat on the interception, and instead Keelan Smith goes up and nabs it, makes a great play, and the hat trick is there.
Unbelievable catch from Keelan Smith. He has gone for 200 plus tonight and 2 touchdowns. This guy is unreal. Extra point kick, pushed up and through. Keelan Smith put up another highlight. Liberty North on their way to 2-1. The Eagles look terrifying on ESPN Kansas City.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Keelan Smith had himself a nice. There's going to be some stiff competition for the best team in the state of Missouri. Isaiah Mosey over at Lee Summit North is the top junior recruit in the state of Missouri. He's already had a strong start to the year, but Keelan Smith is going to absolutely fill it up this season. His second multi-touchdown game, and we're only 3 games into the year. He's approaching, well, he's gone over 200 yards by now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And he's doing it tonight against Rockhurst's defense. A defense that gave up 10 points total through the first 2 games of the season. Hasn't mattered.
Keelan Smith is out here going up against all comers this season. He wants to put on a clinic, and he's got his team up big, 35-7, with 11:54 to go in the ball game. And Rockhurst now needs to try to salvage something going forward.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's confidence. How can you get better? You know, these 2 teams are very likely to see each other again. You know, talk about playoff time. These guys are both very good, very dangerous. So you're talking about your Lee Summit North, your Liberty North, your Rockhurst, your CBC, your Oak Hill, which right now I'll have an update here in just a minute. It's just these 2 teams, you can't lose the game that might take place in November right now. You have to have confidence if you're going to play again.
Gain of 4 on first down on the give to Aiden Ryan, and now movement before the snap on 2nd and 6. 11:20 to go in this fourth quarter. A false start against Rockhurst is the call. Donahoe and company saying that should have been an offsides call. And yeah, the official on the near side is also indicating it should have been against Liberty North. So now they are going to change the call to an offsides.
It very clearly was.
The wires crossed with the white hat and the officiating crew. But yeah, you said it. This could very well end up being a rematch in the playoffs. Don't be surprised if Rockhurst makes a trip up to Liberty in late October, maybe early November. Two backs in the backfield for Ethan Hansen. Turns, play fake. Has all day. He's going to flare one down the middle of the field. Intercepted. Cole Young on a diving pick back at the Rockhurst 40-yard line. And Liberty North has got their second interception of the night.
I mean, as clean of a defensive interception as you're going to get. An overthrow out of Ethan Hansen, and it results in another interception out of Cole Young.
Boy, Liberty North, we're only 3 games into the year, but this is a complete game that they have played tonight. Offensively, they've looked tremendous. Defensively, they've looked even better. They force another turnover there. And yeah, it was interesting when you go back to week 1. I talked to both coaches. It's something that Jamar Mosey, the head coach of Lee Summit North, told me going into that week 1 game as Tillman Martin takes the pistol snap, is going to hand off to Ja'Cory Love, who's going to get dropped straight ahead going to the 39-yard line. He said, it's a big week, game 1, and I was asking him how much that rivalry meant with Liberty North, blah, blah, blah. We want to win and all this, and he stopped and paused. And he said, well, honestly, week 1 doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Win or lose, at the end of the year, who cares? Lee Summit North lost in overtime in the state championship last year, and they started the year 0-1 last year.
Yeah.
Liberty North, if you put stock in that loss, you were wrong to. I can guarantee you that, because this is a top 3 team in the state without a doubt after tonight. Lee Summit North, CBC, Liberty North, all at the top of the heap, and they all deserve it. Love on a 2nd and 5 play, trying to hit the sideline. He is going to get ran down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost a half yard. Speaking of Lee Summit North, since we're talking about Missouri Class 6 football,
sure,
they are in a dogfight with Staley tonight. Trying to pull up that score for you as we
I got it as 21-14 here. Lee Summit North on top at Staley, 21-14.
So I would assume that game is also getting late in the second half, but Staley hanging tough with the Broncos. That game is near the end of the third quarter, 1:04 to go in the third quarter. It's still that 21-14 Lee Summit North lead. You can watch that game, by the way. Guess what? Right here on A10varsity.com. Flip over to the A10 Varsity scoreboard. We got a timeout by Liberty North, 3rd and 5. Still to go, but yeah, flip over to that scoreboard. Top left-hand part of your screen. Go down to scores, football scores. Head over to that Staley Lee Summit North game if you dare.
Yeah.
There should be a watch live link on A10varsity.com. By the way, you can get all your scores on A10varsity.com. You can get weekly rankings. You can get state rankings. If you want it, they've got it. And right now, Liberty North has got themselves a 28-point lead and the football, trying to work some clock, 9:24 to go in this fourth quarter.
Just a couple of games to keep your eye on. Grain Valley leading Oak Park 31-26. That's number 10 versus number 6 in the A10 Varsity Top 25. We'll have more after this.
Ja'Cory Love out of the timeout, picks up about 4 yards on the stretch play. It's going to be up a 4th and 1 play. Looks like a Hawklet is dealing with a cramp back at the 32, so it roll off some more of those scores.
Yeah, Liberty on top of Raypeck 21-7 at home. Lee Summit West on top of Park Hill South 24-12. Blue Springs South trying to get on the winning train for the first time this year, 27-21 at Park Hill. Lee Summit on top of Blue Springs 23-7 right now. And then just clicking in a moment ago. Platte County, North Kansas City. Platte County on top 7-0 in the fourth quarter. Talk about a defensive battle in two powerhouses up in North Kansas City.
It's the kind of score I thought we might have tonight. Instead, Liberty North has had other plans. Their punt unit out there on a 4th and 1, protecting a 28-point advantage. 2 men back deep for Rockhurst. That's Micah Oder and Mason Tunley. Theo Gibson to do the punting duties. Gets off a high spiraling punt, fair caught at the 27-yard line by Mason Tunley. 8:30 to go in the ball game, and you look ahead for Rockhurst. Again, this is going to be a shot on the chin for Kelly Donahoe.
Yeah.
Again, this is a giant game for this community. You feel like Rockhurst suddenly feels like they are finally back after they have been fighting uphill the last few years since Tony Severino left. No fault to Kelly Donahoe. He just inherited a young core when he got to Rockhurst.
Yep.
And you feel like they're back, the 4th-ranked team in the state. They took this one on the chin tonight, but you got to remind yourself it is only the 2nd week of September.
Yeah.
There is a ton of football still to be played, but without a doubt, they got a wake-up call tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and we'll talk about their schedule here in a couple minutes. It is brutal over September. I mean, if you want to talk about arguably the hardest schedule in the entire city over the next 4 weeks, it is Rockhurst, especially whenever you're talking about rankings of 8-10 varsity top 25 teams, plus one of the, cream of the crop down in Arkansas. They have to go down to Bentonville next week. It's a very tough schedule, and I'm sure you'll walk us through it here in just a few minutes, Tim.
Just a 1-yard gain for Aiden Ryan on 1st down, and now 2nd and 9 as we work inside. 8 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. 3 left, 1 right for Hansen. Screen pass near side Bickelmeyer. He is going to get dropped in the open field back at the 23-yard line. Great tackle by Easton Goss to the near side. He's made a couple of really good plays tonight. But yeah, Liberty North, or not Liberty North, but Rockhurst rather, at Bentonville next week. They have to travel down to Arkansas, and then they host the 8th-ranked team currently in the A10varsity.com top 25 Bishop MEH. It'll be a packed house for that. As a matter of fact, we may have reservations for that game in 2 weeks on Sports Radio 810. Here comes a 3rd and 14 play. Hansen has time, rolling left, getting chased. He is going to dump it out of bounds, take a late shot from Melvin Laster. No flag. It'll be 4th and long. After they host Miege, they are on the road at St. Thomas Aquinas, who checked in at number 5 this week in the A10varsity.com top 25. And then they hit the road to Kelly Donahoe's former school, Blue Springs. And then they take on St. Louis University on October 13th before finishing the game with Oklahoma City Patriots. That is a homeschool team from down in Oklahoma, and that's a game that Rockhurst should handle.
Yeah.
Without breaking a sweat, but that was sort of how they set up their schedule last year, and that's, again, not to really go down the rabbit hole too much, as this punt is going to be down at the 46 of Rockhurst. Liberty North is going to start in plus territory. Rockhurst had a very difficult schedule a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Got hot near the end of it, and then I believe it was Harmon they played to end the regular season. They did not play any starters.
Yeah.
Nothing but backups in that game. They won that game handily.
Yeah.
But then they got shocked by a 2-win Park Hill team in the first round of the playoffs the following week.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they schedule a team like that again to end the regular season in a game where more than likely they're not going to play any starters. More than likely it's going to be a bunch of reserves a week before the playoffs.
Yeah, it's, again, to go inside the mind of a legend, athletic departments do what they do logistically sometime, but Kelly Donahoe and the staff, I'm sure, understand what schedules are like.
Yeah.
But again, it's very interesting that, again, back-to-back years you're going to have something like that take place. And, we'll see if it bites him again. It's just an incredibly difficult schedule.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to need that breather before the playoffs, and it seems like that's kind of the built-in way of doing it, at least for them right now.
Carry on first down to River Therian, picks up 3 yards. Well, I mean, most teams are not at the luxury of scheduling a softer opponent like that towards the end of the season. But again, we're talking about Rockhurst, a independent private school that essentially creates their own schedule every year. And so you're not confined to a league or a certain district week in and week out in the regular season like most schools are. As a matter of fact, as River Therian carries this up to the 40-yard line, the next time Rockhurst will play a team from the state of Missouri will be in October. It's Arkansas opponent, Kansas opponent, Kansas opponent, and then all of a sudden it's October 6th. You're 3 weeks from the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the next time you see a Missouri Class 6 opponent.
That's a good poll, Tim. I mean, and at Blue Springs, it seems like, again, Blue Springs still trying to find their way back, another kind of storied program of Missouri 6A, and they need to find their way back too. It's like they're on these similar paths after losing a legend, and so yeah, that's a good poll. Throughout the tough schedule of September maybe is of choice, right? Of course, you have to have the Catholic Clash, St. Thomas Aquinas, very difficult schedule coming up, but yeah, like you said, no Missouri team till October 6th.
But not to take away from Miege or Aquinas. Everyone is familiar with how well run those programs are. And they can just as easily play Rockhurst's schedule tomorrow.
Yep.
Not saying they're going to run the table, but they'd be able to compete just as well as Rockhurst would. 4th and 5, punt unit out there for Liberty North. Spiraling punt is going to chase Tunley back to the 5. He's going to break one tackle. He's in the end zone. Coming near side, he breaks another tackle. Picks up a block to the 10. Near side 20, 25, 30, and he's finally bumped out of bounds right there. Good effort by the senior receiver slash return man, Mason Tunley, who was running in his end zone for a half second there before getting it out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he's kind of one of the new faces on the team, but he is given, through 3 games, he's given everything he's had. Obviously, I mean, right now he comes away and he's got a little bit of a limp. Again, you play 3 straight weeks. This is kind of where, and we haven't talked about it a lot, Tim, but this is kind of where you start to feel the bruises of week 1. You feel really good, but now the bruises are starting to show up from week 1, and then week 2, they start to compound as you get into week 3. You're starting to see some of that out of this Rockhurst team as they're dropped for another loss. It just seems to me like they've, from the get-go, Liberty North came out and threw the first punch, and since then, it was pretty much ball was in their court.
Ethan Hansen loses 5 yards on first down.
Hey, just a quick update for you, Tim. Staley just intercepted Lee Summit North on the goal line. 21-14, Lee Summit North with 9 minutes to go. Staley drive.
2nd and 15. Hansen is going to fire a comeback route to the far side from Miles Carson, who runs out of bounds near the 35-yard line. It took him till 3:42 to go in the ball game before Miles Carson catches a pass.
I mean, again, for Rockhurst to be the threat that they want to be at winning a state championship, right? You have to think about what November holds. Miles Carson has to be in those cards.
Yeah.
He has to be. He is the #1 weapon they've had for years. Tunley's a great addition, but it cannot be this far into the game before he gets his first catch.
3rd and 5 for this Rockhurst offense. 3:42 to go in the ball game. 28 points Liberty North advantage. Option play is blown up. Aiden Ryan loses 3 yards on the play. Most of the starters still running around out there for Liberty North. Ryan Huston makes the stop there for the Eagles.
I mean, at this point, and I've said this multiple times before, as the punt team comes on, I am in awe at how many of these players go both ways for these top teams in 6A. At some point, it will catch up, but it's incredibly fun to watch. They're great athletes, clearly. It's very hard to watch them go both ways and be very tired at the end of every night.
This punt is going to roll inside the 35, get down near the 33 of Liberty North. With 2:51 to go in the ball game, and if you're Liberty North, you're going to turn the page into a competitive Park Hill South team before hosting Park Hill at the end of the month, taking on Blue Springs on the road. And then you end the season with Blue Springs South at home, Great Peck at home, and then on the road at Leeds Summit West. And you just run through those teams, and it doesn't seem like there's a speed bump on the schedule for Liberty North, and they could very easily run the table the rest of the way and right off into the playoffs with an 8-1 regular season mark.
Yeah, I mean, barring any sort of major injury, it's pretty smooth sailing, at least you would think, for a team of this caliber. You have to be careful whenever you go on the road, at Blue Springs, at Park Hill South next week, at Leeds Summit West to finish up the year. But at that point, you're thinking about playoffs right now. Again, over the past 3 weeks, right? Week 1, you're going against the number 1 team. Right now, you're going against the number 4 team and handling them on the road 35-7. You're feeling pretty good. Now, you don't have a St. Louis team on the schedule like Rockhurst does, but this gives you a pretty good idea of how you stack up against the rest of at least the Kansas City area.
Second down carry is going to net a few yards out to the 40-yard line on their 4th string tailback is Liberty North.
You remember that classic we had last year, Tim, up in Kearney, I believe.
Yeah.
Smithville on top of Kearney right now, 27-15. But I do remember, and I will remember, you can find it online, of Tim's blocked field goal call from a year ago, and that classic up in Kearney.
Well, that was a game where Kearney had to battle back in that 4th quarter. It was a game we thought Smithville had on ice in the second half. This play is blown up in the backfield, and it'll be 4th and 8 rather, with 1:15 to go. So Liberty North looking really good, and I can assure you they will not be budged from that number 2 spot in the A10varsity.com top 25. However, that number 3 spot in Missouri Class 6 could just be in limbo as Leeds Summit North continues to fight with Staley, as the Falcons of Staley High School are on the move to the Leeds Summit North 36-yard line, down 7, 6:50 to go in that game. Fair catch on the punt gives Rockhurst the ball at their own 28-yard line with just 36 seconds to go. And I urge you, if you are at home, to go over to A10varsity.com and flip on that game. You can watch it live right now. And I don't often encourage you to turn off our game, but
fair enough.
Considering you may have 1 or 2 more snaps before Liberty North rides off into the sunset at 2-1, I would say that is a little bit more intriguing at this point in the night. Staley trying to shock the number 1 team in the city and the number 1 team in Missouri, regardless of class. Ethan Hansen back out there one more time. Toss play is going to pick up about 4 yards to the 33-yard line, and more than likely that is how our night is going to end. Rockhurst is going to have to head back to the drawing board. They took one on the chin tonight. They are going to fall to 2-1 and likely take a small tumble in the top 25 as well as the Missouri Class 6 rankings. But again, second week of September, long time to go before the playoffs get kick-started in Missouri. Kelly Donahoe is going to have to iron some things out. Meanwhile, at Liberty North, where they are rounding into form in a hurry. A 28-point dismantling of Rockhurst on the road tonight. They dominated on both sides of the ball from the word go. And again, I would say they put the state on notice, but everyone already knows what Liberty North can do when they get rolling, and it seems like they are getting rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, can you just keep the momentum rolling? Like we talked about their schedule, there should not be a hiccup in it, so just keep the momentum rolling. This team is as dangerous as anybody in the state. I'm sitting here watching Lee Summit North as well. Liberty North looks polished. They look clean. Can you tell me, did they have a penalty tonight other than the phantom personal foul? I guess we had 2 personal fouls, didn't we?
Yeah, a couple personal
okay,
fouls.
So a couple things to clean
up. There
up.
were some pre-snap penalty. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, if you're going to be picky about it,
sure.
I guess there were a
couple of things
penalties.
that's what coaches look at. A couple things to clean up, but Liberty North looks impressive, every bit the part of the number 2 and 8-10 varsity top 25.
Keelan Smith had himself a night. He cleans up over 200 receiving yards, 2 touchdown effort. Jay Sean Ross, he did it on both sides of the ball. The 4-star recruit had a couple of sacks, had a touchdown reception. Every big name for Liberty North put on a show tonight, and the Eagles as a team put on a clinic as they steamroll for the second consecutive week, a 35-7 victory. And Lee Summit North, speaking of Missouri Class 6 football while we're at it, just picked off Staley, 6.5 to go in that game. Flip on over to that one on 810varsity.com. Thanks for joining us tonight on 810varsity.com, as well as ESPN Kansas City. For Jonathan Pulisic, I am Tim Spurl. Thanking you for joining us tonight. Liberty North is 2-1. So is Rockhurst, but Liberty North feels a lot better about it. We'll see you next week on Sports Radio 810.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
That carryout comes in clutch.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.